Good morning. In the lecture of estimating costing, we are considering about the deduction of doors and windows. We have already seen about the doors. We'll just go again through it so that the continuity can be maintained in the problem. So how many doors are there totally? If you observe the plan, there are total 3 number of doors and the size of the door is 1 meter in length and the height is 2.1 meter. So how to actually make our calculations or actually how to solve the problem. So total number of doors are 3 which are written here. Just write it, you may also write it as 3 here. Multiply it with the length. The length is no doubt 1 meter and what you have to, which width you have to consider. Actually, if you find the width of the item of the brickwork is 0.3 meter, so the same width you have to consider. So it will be 0.3 meter and how much will be the height? The height will be 2.1 meter respectively. After that, just multiply this 3 into 1 into 0.3 into 2.1. It will be 1.89 cubic meter. Now we'll go for the windows. If you observe the plan, there are totally how many windows? There are 3 number of windows. So here I have written here 3 in the number of as the column in 3 in the number. Next 1.5 is the length. The length of the window is normally more than the length of the door because nowadays normally sliding windows are used in common. So only the half part we can actually open or at max 0.67, that is 2/3 part of the window can be open. So to help the wind as well as the light to penetrate, we are providing normally 1.5 meter length windows. So 1.5 meter will be the length. Again, the width will be 0.3 meter. As the width of the brickwork is 0.3 meter, same here it will be 0.3 meter again. Whereas the height of the window is 4 feet, that is 1.2 meter. So I have just taken it here as 1.2 meter. So we'll just multiply these 4 variables to get the quantity of deduction for the sake of the windows. So how much it will be? 3 multiplied by 1.5 multiplied by 0.3 into the height is 1.2 meter. So it will be 1.62 cubic meter, which we have already written here. Now in the same manner, what we are going to do is we have to find the deduction for that of the lintels over the door and the lintels over the windows. So if you observe the window, above the window we are going to place the lintels. Okay, how much is the width or the thickness of the window? The thickness of that lintel will be 0.1 meter, whereas again the width will be 0.3 meter. It will be equal to as that of the brickwork, and the length will be again 1.2 meter. Okay, so first of all, for the doors, the total length is 1.1 meter for the door. What we have to do is we have to provide 0.1 meter bearing on both sides. Okay, 1 meter plus one side bearing will be 0.1 and another side bearing will be 0.1. So it will be 1.2 meter, which I have taken it here as 1.2 meter. Just multiply that 1.2 meter by the width of the brickwork, that is the width of the lintel, multiply it with the thickness, it is 0.1 meter. So just see how we have to just calculate it. It will be number of lintels will be 3 as the number of doors are 3. Multiply it with the length of the door. The length of the door is length of the door plus 2 end bearings. So it will be 1.2 meter. Just multiply it with again the width is 0.3 and it again with the height, that is 1.2. So how much it will be? 3 into 1.2 into 0.3 into 0.1. It will be 0.108 cubic meter. Here it is 0.108 cubic meter, which are already shown here. In the same way, we have to calculate the quantity of lintel over the windows. We have completed for the doors. Now for the windows, how many number of windows are there? There are 3 number of windows. Now how to calculate the actual length of the windows? So here I will write here for your convenience. So length will be equal to okay, the length of the window, it is 1.5 meter plus 2 end bearings. I will write so that at the time of solving the problem at home, it will be easier for you to make out actually why you have increased the length by 0.2 meter. Here I will write 2 end bearings. Okay, so see here. And that will be equal to 1.5 plus 2 into bracket 0.1, that is 0.1. So it will be how much? It will be equal to 1.7 meter. Okay, how much it will be? 1.7 meter. In the same way, we have already calculated the length of the door also. So here again I will just write the same thing here for the purpose of the calculation of the door, so that you can easily understand how to actually calculate the lengths. Okay, so here the length of the door was found to be 1 meter. After that, we have to add the 2 end bearings. So how much it will be? The length of the door will be 1 plus 2 into 0.1, that is 1.2 meter. Here I will write it as 1.2 meter and so on. So we have calculated the length of the lintel over the window as 1.7 meter. Okay, the number will be 3. The length will be 1.7 meter, whereas the width of the item is 0.3 meter and the depth is 0.1. That is, depth is nothing but the thickness of that lintel. Okay, then again we will calculate the same thing. 3 into 1.7 into 0.3 into 0.1. It will be 0.153. Here I have already calculated it. Okay, now we have to just go on adding all these deductions, that is deduction for the opening of the door, deduction for opening of the window, as well as deduction for lintels over the doors and windows. So how much it is? For doors it is 1.89. 1.89. For window it is 1.62. Then for the lintel over the door it is 0.108. And lintel over the and the lintel over the windows will be 0.153. That is 3.771 cubic meter. We have already written here it as 3.771 cubic meter. So how to calculate the actual quantity of brickwork? So the brickwork which you have calculated above, you have to deduct it. You have to deduct 3.771. So net brickwork or the net brick masonry will be equal to how much? It will be here. We have calculated the total brickwork as 23.743 cubic meter. Now just write here as 23.743 cubic meter. 23.743 cubic meter minus this addition of all the net deductions. The addition is 3.771 cubic meter. So how much it will be? 23.743 minus 3.771. It will be 19.972 cubic meter. How much it will be? It will be 19.972 cubic meter. In this manner, by using the very simple steps, you have to just go on calculating the quantity of brickwork masonry. Now we'll go for the calculation of slab for these rooms. So how to calculate it? Just go through it. Now the RCC slab 124. 124 is nothing but it is the concrete mix which will give us the M15 grade concrete and so on. So we have to just go on adding this or multiplying this. So the roof slab for first, well, it is a very simple. If you just go through or plan the total length, I will write here. See, it is very simple. First of all, we will consider about the length. Okay, because the total slab will be length into or the length multiplied by width multiplied by the thickness of the slab. Okay, so the length will be, how to calculate the length will be here. It will be, first of all, we have to consider the thickness of the wall. It will be 0.3 meter. Okay, plus we have to add the length of the first room. It is 4 meter. Secondly, we have to add again the central wall junctions thickness. It is 0.3 again. In the same manner, you have to again add the length of the second room. It is 3 meter respectively, plus 3. Okay, and at last again the thickness of the wall. It is 0.3. So how much will be the length? It will be equals to 4 plus 3 7, 7 plus 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.3. That is 7.9 meter respectively.